Hey, welcome to Car Guy Confessions, brought to you by ARP. I'm Jeff Smith. This is my car buddy Cam Benty and car builder Steve Strope, and we're going to tell you some stories. Welcome to another episode of Car Guy Confessions with Jeff Smith, brought to you by our friends at arp-bolts.com. And we are at the Grand National Roadster Show.
75th anniversary.
75th anniversary. Cam
right.
Benty and our special return guest star.
Part two. Take two.
Part two, Paul Rossi.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's right.
Mr. Mopar.
That's right. Yes. Thank you very much.
And I think we talked about this in the first one that we did, but I met you in a project that we did through CarCraft. It was Aspen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
An F-body car.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Right.
The place or the car?
Small block.
The place or the car?
Well, the car, the place would have been fun, but it was
Yes,
about the car.
yes.
We weren't that lucky.
And I was right off the boat. I mean, I had been there maybe 6 months, you know, and
79?
in 79 or
Yeah.
70 or 80. Was it 80?
Yeah.
Probably maybe.
God, those were fun times.
Oh,
were.
It's just, you know, I think back and I think, you know, what a geek I was.
Right.
But it was a lot of
Everybody's gotta
fun.
start somewhere.
So
You bet.
we have a lot of history.
We do.
And
And Cam as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you started. We both were up for the. I was at NHRA. I was working for a dragster, and you were looking for a job.
I was looking for a job. I had just
right.
graduated
That's
college.
right. And we were working with Rick Vogelin, who is the fastest recruiter in the world. Not. But anyway, so we both were up for the same job.
Yeah, we interviewed
And
for the job.
And after about 3 months, I went like, well, this isn't happening, right? So I went back to my desk at Dragster, and I was like, no. Well, then the very next month, he hires Jeff, which was a good choice. I mean, Jeff is definitely.
And
a
I
turn
went
the wheel on you.
and I
That's
went
right.
through the same thing because what I did was, classic deal, right? So I sent all this stuff off to Rick because they were looking for a staffer. Because what happened was Kirschenbaum. I think I've told this story before, real quickly, because you knew Al Kirschenbaum.
Yes, I did.
Right? Because he was the Mopar writer at CarCraft.
Is he still around?
I think so.
Yeah, he's up in Little Rock.
Little Rock.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So anyway, the deal was that my best
California,
friend
that
from
is.
my best friend from college was in the race group. He got hired at Chrysler within 6 months. Was in the race group.
Who's that?
Don Young. And he was a suspension guy. He worked on the kit car project, so it was
Okay.
mostly circle track stuff. That's probably why you never met him. But through him, I knew Larry Shepard. So
there you
I
go.
made a deal to come. I brought Don's girlfriend with me and my girlfriend up to visit with him in November of '78, and I said with the express purpose of meeting Larry Shepard, right? And see, it's like, well, he's literally a direct connection with CarCraft, right?
Yeah.
So I got a chance to meet him in some bar for lunch, probably in
Nice.
Hamtramck.
Yeah.
Right. And so I meet him at this bar, and we're there for like a half hour, 45 minutes. He spends the entire time talking me out of it. He says, "This is never going to work for you. Don't even go there. Don't do this. It's a joke. Don't do it. You'll be writing the CarCraft equivalent of obituaries. Is what you'll be doing. You'll hate it. Don't
Wow.
do it."
Wow.
And so now I'd gone through college, and here's
So
a
did
guy.
that make you want to do it?
Even more. Yeah,
even
absolutely.
More.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I think about this all the time. It's like I was so single focused that even when everybody that I was meeting go, "This is not a good idea,"
Right.
I did it anyway. So I come home a little bit dispirited, but I think, well, I don't really know what to do next. So I'm working at this gas station, it's Conoco station in Ames, Iowa, where I went to school at Iowa State University.
How old were you?
I was this was '79, so I was 25.
Okay.
And so working at this gas station, and the phone rings, and the phone is in the office where the bell ringer is when people pull in the drive, right? So phone rings, I pick it up, and ding, ding, and I go, "Paul's Conoco," and there's this guy from some newspaper in South Dakota wants to hire me. I said, "I'm not interested." And he goes, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
You just graduated from Iowa State with a degree in journalism. Yes, sir. And I have a newspaper. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm looking for a staff writer. University gave me your number. This is a work number. Sounds like you work in a gas station. Yes, sir. And he goes, "I just offered you a job in your chosen field of occupation, and you just turned me down."
Let me talk to your father.
Yeah, exactly.
I said, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "Okay, fill me in what's going on." So I told him my dream, and he starts laughing. He goes, "Yeah, kid, call me in 6 months when
Good
this
luck.
all implodes." So I'm a little bit dispirited, but I'm not giving up yet. And I'm thinking, well, I gotta send resumes out, right? So I'm working on my resume, and Don, my friend Don, calls me from Detroit and calls me at the gas station in the middle of the day, and says, "Dude, I just heard from Shep that Al Kirschenbaum is going to CarCraft or going to Hot Rod.
Right.
There's a position open at CarCraft. Call him."
Right.
Thanks. Boom. right? Went home because I didn't want to make the long distance phone call on the company nickel, and just so
Remember
you know Al,
Remember
you remember
when?
Al?
Sure.
He worked from home most of the time.
Yes.
I called the office. He was there, and the secretary put me through. I mean, right away that should never have happened because
Right.
you don't normally as a staffer you don't take calls from
But
just
it was
anybody.
a different era because
It was.
you
The
mentioned
holes
you
in
were
the Swiss cheese are lining
Right.
up.
right.
Yeah,
Because I
So-
ran into the same thing. I mean, I was at Hot Rod. I got hired by Lee Kelly at Hot Rod
Okay.
in '80, so I missed
Yeah.
this job, but I
Yeah.
got the job over there. But I had met you at Dragster, so that's when I remember seeing you
Oh,
at one of
that's
the
right.
races. And but finish your story. I
But
didn't mean
anyway,
to-
that's how it started. So then
Yeah.
Kirschenbaum. So this is the best part. So I get him on the phone and I said, "You don't know me. My name's Jeff Smith. I'm just a reader from Ames, Iowa. But I understand you're leaving Carcraft to go to Hot Rod, and I want to interview for the job." And Rick wasn't in because I really tried to get a hold of Rick.
Right.
And there's this silence on their phone. I went, "Hello," and he goes, "Who is this?" And I went. And I'm thinking, So I said, "Well, I went
Conoco.
I went through the spiel again." And he goes, "No, who the hell is this?" Because there's like 5 people in the world that know that I'm going to Hot Rod. My publisher doesn't even know yet because he's on the road.
That's funny.
And he says, "Some kid from Iowa is calling me up and telling me about this stuff. What the hell's going? Who are you?" And I went. He goes, "How do you know this?" And I said, "Larry Shepard." He goes, "Oh, you know Shep?" And I went, "Dude, I'm not going to name drop. I met him once in a bar in Detroit
Good enough.
at
Good
lunch
enough. There you
trying to look for this
That
job."
got you in the club.
Yeah,
and,
sure
and,
did.
and as soon as I said Shep's name, it all changed.
Right.
And friends to this day, and he ribs me consistently and often for being a Chevrolet guy.
Yeah, of course.
Shep.
He says, "No,
Kirschenbaum. Kirschenbaum.
because you rule purely by force of numbers. That's all. That's the only reason." So anyway, that's
There you
my
go.
connection. So then, because Kirschenbaum left and I replaced him, I instantly became the Mopar guy by default, sort of speak. So, but yeah,
Perfect,
so
perfect.
our deals completely just went like this
Exactly,
ever
all those
since,
years,
really.
right?
Ever
Because then
since.
I went to Popular Hot Rodding. I left Hot Rod to go to Popular Hot Rodding,
Mm-hmm.
so bigger fish, smaller pond. And anyway, so I moved there, and then I followed you. You went from Carcraft to Hot Rod,
and you came
I
in
went
as
to
editor of
Carcraft
Carcraft,
to
yeah.
Hot Rod. And then
That
I
was
left Carcraft
84.
and went to Sport Magazine. Go frickin' figure.
Yeah.
I know, so go figure
now
that. That's
the
a
whole
jump.
world of sport.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo.
Which had nothing to do with cars. So there you go. So I was completely non-qualified, but I was there. But anyway,
the
yes.
Aspen was a like F stock, something like that.
Yeah. I think I had some people driving. I can't recall. We were out there, but it
Yeah.
was a project, and we did the small block.
Okay.
It's a first kind of a trek into that area.
Because this car was the 440 car.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the big block.
Yeah, the big block
And I
car.
didn't. I've been with, except for the Max Wedge on '63.
Uh-huh.
It was Hemi's 4, 5, and then the sock motor in '65, right, for,
Yep.
for
Right.
Mercury, and then came back '72 with the RO29 Hemi Cuda.
Right, okay.
Took that all the way to world
Okay.
champion, runner up,
Okay.
and that's when the car broke, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and
Which
then-
is a great story.
That's right.
Yeah,
You
and
were so
we
about
covered
this.
we covered that.
Yeah, right.
In part
right.
one.
So if you
And-
haven't seen that part, go back and watch part 1 because
yeah.
there's
I
some
hope
great
you find it
stories in there if
interesting, yeah.
you
We'll,
missed
we'll
it.
reference
So.
what episode it was, so you
Yeah.
don't have to hunt forever. So anyway.
Well,
but
you
the-
guys were talking about how you started. Mine was a little bumpy too.
Was it?
Yeah, actually very, and a little scary. So I'm 10 years old,
Yeah.
and there's a
You're look much older.
yeah.
Now.
Thanks for the fine words. Anyway, so I lived on a near corner. It's Van Born and Inkster.
Okay.
Dearborn Township, Inkster Township, Romulus, and Taylor.
Okay.
So there's
we-
3 businesses
I got
on
to
the
stop
street.
you for one.
Oh.
We got to watch. We got to watch the Rossi rule.
Oh,
Okay. Because
Already.
I brought a safety deal. I got zip ties. I'm gonna zip tie you to the microphone. Just joking. But anyway.
Thank
so,
you.
So we're all
So
set.
that references me beating on the table.
For the benefit of the viewers that may not know, we have a Rossi rule. It's
He
no
works with-
banging
This
on the
is
table.
exactly why we have it, you know. And as I remember, that's
But
why
now
they
it-
don't give lunch breaks in factories for Italians. They have to retrain them. But we have our own language now. You know, that's part of the.
Yeah. there's a-
Somehow it's
We're getting them
it's
all.
Not, it's not very. It's not very.
We're gonna get them all. But
yeah,
your
yeah.
story is good.
Socially acceptable, but it's okay.
Sorry for interrupting it, but I had those
Yeah.
zip ties sticking me in the pelvis here. So there you go.
Anyway,
Anyway,
so I'm 10 years old, and I'm working at Joe Stacy's mobile station,
Okay.
half a block from my house. and I'm
And this
sweeping
is in
driveways.
Dearborn, you said.
At 10 years
Yeah,
old.
I'm 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
sweeping driveways.
Okay.
Wow.
Now in Michigan, they use rock along the road, between the road and anything else, right?
Uh-huh.
Ditches or whatever.
Sure.
And so when you go up into a business, they got the cement from the pad that you enter, and then the cement that connects to the road. Well, there's rocks before and after the approach to the driveway.
Sure.
Well, as cars take a quick into the gas station in those days,
They
the
drag the
rocks
rocks
would
in.
go and carry up. So
Right.
I was, after school,
Rock remover.
25 cents an
You're-
hour.
you're a pebble
And
boy.
then when I got
Okay.
that done, cleaned the Johns.
Okay.
So when I
At 10 years old.
10 years old, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so,
Well, that's good for
well,
you.
I only live down the street, you know.
Yeah.
But that's
So-
good for you. That's awesome. What a fun
Yeah,
deal.
no, I mean, I learned it. I ended up working at
And
that
you're
mobile
hang-
station.
And you're hanging out with the car guys.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Very good. So, yeah, I'm where I want to be.
Yeah.
So, as soon as I got the Johns done, which I did as fast as I could, I got to go in and watch the guys work on cars.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I could just be there. And then here they are with the sun chrome timing light, and they're timing a car. Oh, man, that looks cool. It's flashing and stuff. You know,
yeah.
that's exciting stuff. Sure. I never saw my father ever do anything like that.
What'd your father do?
He was a roller in the steel mill at the Ford Motor Company.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's actually the highest paid job of any hourly employee at the Ford Motor Company, because they had something called incentive pay.
Okay.
They called it incredible pay.
Nice.
And so you got those employees at the end were making over $250,000 a year.
Whoa.
Yeah,
what
because
year?
they got
In what year?
This is 1980s.
Nice.
80s, yeah.
That's
yeah.
huge money.
Because they got
That was huge
incentive
money.
pay.
Sure, I
Now
get
that's
it.
tonnage that goes through the steel mill. I can explain it in a minute, but
Okay.
so back to the timing light. So I'm
Yeah.
standing
Yeah.
there and I'm going and I'm looking, I said, can I try that?
Yeah.
And one of the mechanics goes, and he got it timed. Right? He
Yeah.
set the distributor and locked it down. He goes, yeah, you want to see what it looks like? Just down there and get the 2 points together. And in fact, I'll loosen it up. You can watch
You
it
can
going
watch it
in
move.
and out.
move.
Yeah,
Sure.
watch it move.
Yeah.
So he did that. You see how that moves? I said, yeah. And all of a sudden, the fan caught the wires, and in the timing light goes, bounced around the radiator, and smashed it to pieces. Oh, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. What have I done now? And I just turned red.
Yeah.
And I was shocked.
Well, he didn't tell you where to stand. And oh my gosh. All right.
No,
fine.
it wasn't his. I don't, you know.
Yeah.
And
10
then
years old.
Joe Stacy, which is a wonderful man, comes out, and I never seen him mad before. He just goes, you're not supposed to be in here. You're supposed to be there. This is not
Not
for you.
you.
This-
Right.
Yeah. And get whatever he said.
Right.
And I was just crushed.
Yeah.
So, and you can see what I've done with my life. So that's not exactly an encouraging start, wouldn't you say?
I would say not. But did you tune it? Did you finally get it done?
No, I
exited the building.
it was so
Yeah.
embarrassing. I don't.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know
Sure.
what, you know.
Yeah.
I bet.
And to
I
this
bet.
day,
Yeah.
that's
You watched the timing light wires.
Yeah, because I have a real serious sun, old-fashioned one. I have a radiator hose on it. It's all made because I don't like the digital. I don't like
Dial-backs?
any of that
You don't
stuff.
like
I
the
want
dial-backs?
dead on.
Straight on, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
Well,
yeah,
there's something to be said for that, because the dial backs are not necessarily. This is what I've heard. I've never actually tested them. The dial backs are not as accurate.
Well,
you're better off. You're better off with
It's
a
another
timing tape.
variable you can take out of the
Yeah,
equation.
Exactly.
Right,
So do
exactly.
it.
Sure, makes
so
sense.
Just because it says you
Yeah.
you retarded at 20 degrees, is it really 20 degrees? You know? Yeah,
Exactly.
So, yep.
Well,
So
anyway,
from that
humble beginnings.
inauspicious beginning, so what happened after? No, so how did you go from being 10 and doing that to?
Then Walt's Auto Parts is across the street. And by the way, it was the home of Walt's Puffer. Record-setting,
Yeah.
this is very fortuitous, record-setting A-altered back in the day. It was a blown 392
Nice.
in a Fiat.
Okay.
And so the guys that wrenched on it were Tom Hoover and Eric.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Tom Hoover.
Yeah.
The Tom Hoover.
The
So,
Tom
yeah.
Funny
Hoover.
car
I didn't
Tom.
know.
Yeah.
Well,
I
no. Tom Hoover of Chrysler Hemi fame.
Oh, Chrysler. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Within Chrysler.
Yeah,
Chrysler.
yeah.
Okay. Different.
Head of the Ram
different.
Chargers, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Exactly. The Ram Charger guy.
And so I would watch these guys wrench on the car after I got done with my work.
Yeah.
Well, no timing lights, but I did stuff like sweep the floor,
Stay away.
bring them Cokes,
Yeah.
get them
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I never saw guys in white shirts working on cars before.
Okay.
So that was kind of my training ground. So
Very
I watched them build this stuff, and just learned. And I couldn't wait to get back there. I mean, after
Just-
cleaning valves and the auto parts and
You bet.
loading mufflers,
Sure,
and,
you
because
bet.
that's a big business back there. When you got salt, all the exhaust rust out, and
Oh, you
so
bet.
they,
Right.
they sell tons of exhaust pieces. So and that's
'Cause
really
it was
hard.
all-
You
it
got to
was
climb
all
upstairs
galvanized,
and
right?
lift it up. I mean, I worked
Yeah.
like heck.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all galvanized steel.
And then
This
across
is-
the
this
street
is-
from that.
What year was this? Was it 50s, mid 50s?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
56.
So this was before the High and Mighty car then?
Right
Or
about
at-
the, yeah, right
about
in
the
there.
same
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
All
right in there because they did the radiator hose deal with the brackets
With the
to hold
brackets.
the carbs up.
Yep.
And
And
then he
added
was-
length
yeah.
to used basically radiator hose to lengthen the intake track
Nice.
to build more torque.
Yeah.
And then had these wild.
And the
'cause what
gentleman
was
that-
like a 48
48 Plymouth.
Plymouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Wild looking. It was
And
an
they
older car.
They had
Wow.
two
Don't know the car.
headers that
Two
came out
headers,
with
all
bells.
individual with
Yeah.
bellows. that
Oh,
came out.
megaphones on it.
Yeah, megaphones.
So
okay.
we'll have to run a
Yeah.
photo
I have
of this so
seen
you
that
can
car.
see what
Oh,
that
yeah,
is.
that-
It's
oh,
called
yeah,
the High
it's
and Mighty
really
car,
interesting.
and that was the beginning. That was the first Ram Chargers car
Okay.
as the team, and then eventually the Ram Chargers became a part of
Well,
Chrysler Racing.
Wayne Erickson was the fuel systems engineer. He's the guy that I just followed him around, and he's the guy that did the radiator hose
Okay.
deal. Now, I
Okay.
mean, Hoover and there was more than just those two. I just don't know the names of
Right.
the other guys. They just showed up and stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember Wayne's name. He was killed, by the way, in 1960 at Detroit Dragway. He was
Okay.
burned to death.
Oh, wow.
He had remember Chrysler or Imperial had a fuel injection system
Yes.
back in '57 or
I
8
do remember
somewhere in
that.
there.
Yeah, because
Well,
it was-
Wayne was the guy in charge of that.
charge
He
of
was the
Okay.
fuel systems engineer, and he had
Mechanical
that
fuel
fuel
injection.
pump, I understand, on his C altered or C gas car.
Really?
And yeah, and at Detroit Dragway they even had a clutch go or something, and it took that pump out, and the fuel
Right.
went right into the cockpit. And so he died a week later
Wow.
in Ann Arbor Hospital.
Wow. Well, the Ram Chargers were all Chevrolet engineers,
No,
correct?
Chrysler engineers.
No,
Chrysler
Chrysler, no.
engineers.
And they signed the Ram Chargers.
Chevrolet. Where'd I get Chevrolet from? Oh man, no,
They
Chrysler
signed
engineer.
the Chrysler, the Ram Chargers documents to form it
Yes.
at Erickson's house.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So he was like a founding member.
There's actually an SAE book on the history of the Ram Chargers because I read it several
I'm
years
sure
ago.
he's in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure
oh,
he's in
absolutely,
there.
absolutely.
I'm sure he's.
Yeah.
I have not read it, but
And it was,
I'd like
it was
to.
great stuff because that was really the beginning of
Right.
bringing in.
But
some
I didn't
serious
know about
on-
that they were the Ram Chargers forever.
Right.
Really?
No,
Okay.
no, I just
Okay.
knew they
Never
were
was-
engine. No,
Yeah,
because
they
I
were
just
just
racing.
part
Well,
owners.
they're down on Woodward Avenue. I'm there, but not
Yeah.
like I'm not a staple. I just do
Right.
the weekends.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So then they formed that, and of course did all the magic things that they ended up doing.
Right.
And then a few years later, I'm racing them. Unbelievable.
I bet.
I mean, it's funny how life is.
So what
right?
was your first car? What was your first race car? Did we cover this in the first? I
I
don't
think we
remember.
did. I think we did, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Bring it back. Bring it
my
back.
first race car at the track was
Yeah.
a C Sports 60 Vet Fuelie.
Really?
It's 283.
Really?
Yeah, and I did the continuous full Rochester fuel injection.
Okay.
Cut the manifold, did the
Yeah.
porting.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
Yeah, that wasn't legal, but I did the porting. Welded it back
Don't
there,
tell anybody
sandblasted
now.
it. Yeah.
We won't tell anybody.
Yeah, no, I don't.
That's fine. Yeah, keep it quiet.
And that's where I met the people. And I would see the Ram Chargers, Commandos, Branster, Color Me Gone, Dick Housey.
Yeah.
And
X-Strand,
yeah, and
Dick-
Alex Strand, yes,
Alex
Dick,
Strand.
Bill Shirey.
right?
Back in the air.
Yeah, that's a group of guys that was the nucleus for the Mopar guys back then.
Right.
But we also had Butch and Landy, and no, Butch wasn't then. Sorry, we had Landy and we had
Sox and Martin.
Sox and Martin, thank you.
Yeah. Nice.
And then we had Melrose Missile.
And
Right.
Yes,
Carlton?
which was Don Carlton.
Right.
No,
Oh, it was before Don Carlton.
no.
Okay.
That's the Motown Missile.
That's a Mopar.
Melrose
Okay.
Missile
I get my
is
missiles mixed up here. Okay.
Boy, I'm sorry.
Too many missiles.
You said which car was it?
Melrose Missile.
Melrose Missile.
Right here in California, yeah. I apologize. I know his
Yeah,
name.
blanking
He could
too.
change from automatic to stick in 30 minutes.
Really?
Melrose
Wow.
Missile. Yeah. Yeah, dynamite guy. Dynamite.
Okay.
There were some really super people.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
shifty work
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, so anyway, I worked there, and that was 25 cents an hour. I got 45 cents an hour across the street.
Right.
Man, that's
Oh,
a big deal.
Big deal. Sure.
And then from 1957 to 1960, I worked at the hardware store across the street from that, and I got 75 cents an hour.
yeah. Moving up the world.
Yeah, yeah. So and then I ended up owning a mobile station and
Okay.
a Napa Auto Parts
Really?
because I had worked there and I had
Okay.
some basic, and I wanted
Yeah.
to. I worked here. I want to own it,
Yeah.
and I did.
Wow.
So check that off.
Wow.
Check that off.
What year was that?
That I owned them?
Yeah.
Oh, 70s.
Okay.
I had the largest volume mobile station in west of the Mississippi.
Charlie,
Wow.
Tommy Grove.
300,000 gallons. 25 people working there with shirts and ties.
Right.
Wow.
Tommy Grove.
Tommy Grove.
Tommy Grove.
There you go.
Tommy
Okay.
Grove. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I knew
That's
that.
why the
I
phone's
just-
here, just in case. Anyway, but
For those
yeah.
of you smart enough to use it, I
don't know.
that leaves
I
me
know.
the dust.
I got.
So how did we get to here?
Yes, this is what I'd love to know, because this was the car that I fell in love with. This was the car that was not only it did the wheel stands, which we were talking about, and you can explain that in a minute. But it's like this was the car that was just. I was so enamored with this. I loved early Mopars. I loved the E bodies. Those were the cars that I loved, and this car is. Now
that's really quite a story because I resisted it the whole way. I took that contract at gunpoint.
Really?
No, I did not want it because they had good teams out there. We covered this in one.
Yeah.
Right.
They had good teams out there. Landy and Lambeck, good
They were
guys.
big.
Oh, yeah, Bob.
And Mancini, good guys.
Oh, sure.
They had the project, not in the Challenger. Mancini had the exact car, I believe.
Uh-huh.
But I think they had a
Cudas?
Roadrunner. Yeah.
Oh, Roadrunners, okay.
Yeah, they had a Roadrunner for traction or whatever.
Yeah.
They picked
Yeah,
that
yeah.
body for some reason.
Yeah.
And so, and they weren't successful. In fact, my understanding is that Landy gave the package back to Kofel.
Yeah.
Said, this doesn't work. I can't make this.
Wow.
And so I already had that information when I went in there. Not that I thought I needed it, but then when they offered me the package, I go, no, that no, I don't want to do that because you've already given it to good teams, and they haven't brought you back what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't look at myself as any better than anybody else.
Yeah.
So and they said, well, we've given. This is the biggest package I said, I want to stay with my Hemi.
Yeah.
I have developed an active intake manifold.
Yeah.
I am on the I want to finish my development work.
Yeah.
An active.
And they said,
explain
well-
what an active intake.
Oh, I'm
manifold-
sorry. Active intake valves, moving parts in an intake manifold.
Got it.
Hadn't been raced
So
before, to my
change,
knowledge.
change runner length.
Changes, and changes the torque.
Yeah.
Changes
Right,
torque.
yeah. sure,
But
sure.
okay. So, and that's used, by the way, on most cars today.
A
You'll
lot of
find
cars.
a
yeah.
version
Yes.
of active intake.
Yes.
I invented it,
Okay.
to my knowledge. And I'm sure I'm the first one to use it in racing because Bill Farmer Dismute, while I'm going around doing
yeah.
laps
Oh,
at the
yeah.
World Finals, goes, stop me at this scale. What the hell is that?
I spent a lot of time
I-
with Farmer. He's a
Yeah,
good guy.
I
at
really
Dragster.
like that guy.
What
the hell is that?
I mean, God, he's a
Just
great
an
guy.
awesome guy.
So anyway, it passed. He said, well, you can't run that. And I said, I pulled out my rule book because I
Say-
was ready.
Yep.
Intakes are free. Yeah, I guess you got me.
So what
Go ahead.
physically was happening with the
I had a
manifold?
butterfly in there.
I figured. Okay.
Yeah, I had a butterfly in there, and I used
Under
a
the carburetor.
vacuum solenoid
Okay.
between the carburetors.
Between the carburetors. Okay.
Okay, to put it a little
To divert
plainer.
them. Right.
Back in those days, this is a side-by-side cross-ram Hemi.
Okay.
That has an interconnect in it.
Oh, okay.
The interconnect,
Right.
And most
yeah.
even the 413 over the valve cover carburetors had an interconnect.
Right.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
they
remember
did.
it.
Yeah,
I
You
remember
have to-
all
it's
the long
let's
cross
call it a
ribs.
balance tube.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so balances the pulses.
Balances
Okay.
pulses.
So it was decided that this interconnect, we could increase the volume of the interconnect alone, and that would make the plenum a little bigger, trick the carburetors into thinking it had more CFM,
Sure.
and it raised the RPM level, and it made more power on the top.
Okay.
So as we crept that crossover,
Crossover.
and we increased the volume of
Started to
it,
lose torque.
we kept losing torque at the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm not a genius. I'm Italian. So if you do this and it slows down, maybe if we don't do this, it'll pick up.
Well, if you want spaghetti, you got it.
That's all.
There we go. Okay. Very nice.
And so if I keep
So
hitting the
the
table
key
with my
was
hands,
the-
I'll be thrown out of the man.
So
That's
the
okay.
key
It's
is
been
to
good.
have
You've been
both,
good.
right? The key is to have both. Have the torque on the bottom and the power at the top.
Pay the man. We have a winner.
There you go.
And so I decided that I would make it maximum. I made it as end to end. I made the biggest interconnect, the possible.
Right.
And then I put a butterfly in it to close it back down to the original small size.
Yeah.
And I never tested it until I went to Pomona. And when I went there, the torque was so great that I had people come up to me and say, your car is exploding off the starting line.
Right.
What are you doing?
Wow. Yeah.
And
It's like, I don't know.
and we were not allowed to tie the cages to the cars then. And that's why on the last run, by the 7th or 10th run that I had run, I went like 979, 980s all around.
Right.
No car had ever run that before.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was
This is a
the
big
world's
car.
fastest super stock.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
before that.
Oh, okay.
So I'm really happy about, I've got something here.
Yeah. And now they want it- now
Hoover
they want-
comes out of the stands while I'm in tech. Because by the way, I lost the final run to Bernie Agaman. We covered that in the first one. And so I'm in tech, and Tom Hoover comes down, and he said, Paul, he said, yeah, why don't I know anything about this? And I said, well, Tommy, I said, I just did it. There's no time to test it, but it's a winner.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, obviously. And so, well, I want you to get it off there and get it over to Bob Tarosi's Keith Black, and we want to find out what's there. Well, this could have changed my fortune. But when it went over to, I took it off and I went to Keith Black.
Yeah.
Bob Tarosi, who's the godfather to one of my youngest daughter. We were still friends. Brilliant man. Putting it on the dyno and doing it in stages, 500, 3,500, 4, 4,500,
Right.
with steady state RPM checks, didn't show anything.
Oh, it's
Closed
true.
or open.
So they
I
didn't
mean,
believe
closed,
it
they didn't
worked.
like it.
Yeah.
But open, it just, so he couldn't change the torque. And he wrote in his book, the biggest mistake I ever made in my life is I didn't catch Rossi's intake manifold because I didn't have a dynamic dynamometer.
Because they were doing step testing.
We went to the
What it did was it helped the acceleration
That's right.
of the vehicle.
So when we went to the track after the dyno work, I said, Bob, I know what it says here, but I'm telling you, it works.
Yeah.
And we did an A/B there, and it was worth 1100s.
Woo!
1100s.
Which in
Wow.
any class racing, that's huge.
That's huge.
That's huge, yeah.
That's a
Tenth
big
over
deal.
tenth.
And
second.
it's
That's
torque.
a big
And if
deal.
you could hook it,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're just going to move
you could
faster.
move. Yeah.
You're gonna
So
move
when
faster.
when
It's
I
all
went
push
in,
button.
I was so proud of what I had done this time.
Yeah.
And being the last Mopar to go down in the World Championship of 1975 for World, and so being in a final and bringing my Hemi all the way there, breaking some new ground, and they walk in and say, "Forget about all that.
We want you to do a
we want
440
you to do a truck engine." Excuse me?
The Hemi's a race engine. Now you want me to do a truck engine.
I said, I don't know what, but I said, send me a bottle of what you're drinking.
Yeah.
So, because
That's
this
funny.
It's like me
just
doing a
didn't-
sports magazine.
Yeah, so I was so disappointed, and it's like you might have hit me in the head with a 2x4 because
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And so one thing led to another, and they said, so the deal kept getting sweeter and sweeter, and it finally got, they gave me a wage to run it. I got
Okay.
paid, and there was only a handful of people
Oh,
in
yeah,
that
that's-
got paid to race.
that's-
So I got
yeah,
I got
yeah.
I mean,
big
it
That's
was
how
a
badly.
get-rich thing.
So clearly,
Right.
that was how badly they wanted.
They wanted
it. To
it.
work.
We
Yeah.
weren't not selling any. Well, the story was, Paul, Hemi parts sell themselves.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
Two, we don't have any more of them. So we don't need any. We don't need to. We are not going to spend any more marketing money
On that. Sure.
on that project.
Because it
So-
wasn't necessarily chasing records and things like that. It was all about you win on Sunday, you sell on Monday.
Right.
That was the whole. That was
That was always the way it
package.
was.
And it's
it
a
didn't
cliche.
have to be connected to a particular engine family.
No.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
it was just we
Because
want to
you're-
win.
you're-
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the
So-
truck stuff
But
is
they connected it to the marketing of
You
a
bet.
specific powertrain.
exactly. When did the whole truck racing thing blow up?
Oh, that wasn't until late 70s.
Yeah, that was
no
much
early
later.
or
Is
no
that what
early
you were
80s.
working on?
Early 80s.
Trucks?
Were
No,
you-
I did the first super truck, right? A 360. It was a hot rod project.
Yeah.
Got
yeah.
it. Okay.
Marlon Davis.
Yeah.
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 God rest his soul.
Yes.
Nice
Yep.
guy.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Yeah,
guy.
we did that and that was so successful. We had a good, better, best thing planned.
Uh-huh.
We just got to the good. It went like 9:51 on the first pass.
Wow.
I go, that's enough. We're done.
We're done.
we don't need to go
And
We've
Marlon said,
exceeded our estimations.
when are you going to test it? I said, tomorrow. When do you want me to come out? I said, tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah.
So,
no problem. He didn't have anything going on.
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So that's wild. So tell us about
now.
yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, we'll transition to today. And
Yeah, so-
Tell us what
I
this
asked you
is.
about direct connection because direct connection went away.
It did.
many years ago.
Yeah, I believe, I want to say
sadly.
it went away in 70.
Oh,
I
no.
want to say 70.
No, it was in the
It
80s.
was in the 80s.
Yeah,
it was in
definitely
the
in
80s.
the 80s.
Direct
'Cause
connection?
Yeah.
Direct
Early
connection.
Mopar
80s.
Performance was, no?
Well, direct connection was because I had all of Shep's books. I used them as reference material for all kinds of stuff. So
You know, you're right. I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say
I think you're
early
right.
80s.
so
Yeah.
I would say early or mid
and,
80s.
And so,
And then it became
along with
Mopar
this
Performance,
program,
yeah.
I was doing clinics, and so I did them with Butch, and we did them together,
Butch
and then
Leal.
I did some myself.
Yeah.
And so I was the last car or package or contract that had direct connection.
Oh, okay.
And so when the new Stellantis group comes in,
The new regime.
the new regime, yeah, and times 1, 2,
The,
3, right?
the new world order.
Yeah, there was like 3 more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which keeps changing.
Yes.
They decided that they wanted to go back and with direct connection. They liked that name better than Mopar Performance,
Oh, yeah.
and they were going to resurrect that name.
Well, that's
Okay.
smart.
And the logo.
So, and then I happened to be the last face of that.
Okay.
So they said, get some pictures of that. And so Rick Schutz called me up and said, hey, Paul, they're
Photographer. Rick
yeah,
Schutz.
Rick Schutz,
Yeah,
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 starting
sure.
line photographer.
Friend of ours.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And
Great
he
photographer.
said they're asking for a lot of pictures of your car. I said, well, just send them to him.
Yeah.
He said, no, they're asking for a lot of them. He said, maybe you better call this guy. And that's what happened.
Okay.
They wanted to know where that car was, and the original car was sold to Custom Car Magazine in London, England.
Really?
Is that where it is
Really? Is
still?
that where it went?
Yeah, right away.
Is it
went
still
right
there?
away. Huh?
Still
Is it
there?
still there? Is it-
No.
It
Actually is
so
in Sweden
did it die
somewhere.
a horrible death?
That's-
No,
that's it.
okay,
no,
okay, good.
it still lives.
And
Okay.
who owns it? The
I don't know.
King,
It
King of
may be
Sweden?
a bit mutilated.
Yeah.
I'm sure it probably
Waxed
has.
and hacked
a
and
few
cut
hands have been on it, probably.
Oh yeah,
over the
I don't
years.
think anything's the same, but the
Oh.
outside of it kind of looks the same. I saw a picture of it.
If you had the opportunity, would you want it back?
Well, he's got a new
Well,
one.
I think it would be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would like, but I would put it all back.
Right.
To the way I had it,
absolutely.
yeah.
The way it.
So I built
Why-
a scratch.
why
I built
was
a
it cut
scratch
up?
one.
I'm curious. Why was it all cut up and whatever? The guy just
Well, it's
bought it.
I
and
had 2
stored
super
it?
stock. By the way, all my cars had 2 super stocks, 002, 003, stick shift, A body springs, and a snubber.
Okay.
That 970 or 980 car,
Yeah.
2 super stock springs and a snubber, A body. So in my E body, I used A body springs, stick shift.
Okay.
They were 3,800 psi back in the day.
Yeah.
And so when it got to England after, they did ladder bars. I understand all that got all cut out, and it's just
okay.
different now.
Yeah.
And so I haven't seen it,
right.
but everybody tells me that it's, windows went. I remember, and Sylvia Hauser, by the way, one heck of a lady driver.
Yeah.
She was kind of sponsored by Custom Car Magazine in London, England.
Really?
Yeah, and she had done a lot of good racing for them and won championships for them, and they were behind her, that magazine. They bought the car for her to drive.
Got it.
So she came over, and I took her to Orange County. I mean, she was a wheel woman.
Yeah.
She could actually get
Yeah.
down the track.
Cool.
Yeah, I was impressed, really impressed. She just, by the way, passed away less than a year ago.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. She got some derivative of COVID, and
Okay.
it got I don't know what, but she was a good lady, and God rest her soul. She was a good driver. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
cool.
called her Miss Mopar Miss.
Mopar Miss.
Mopar
Mopar Miss
Okay.
over there.
And
And the
then
car is
but-
now
but-
in Sweden. I understand.
Okay.
Right.
So the good news is the car still survived.
It still
Has
survived. Yeah,
survived.
that's
Okay.
the good
All
news.
right.
In
Yeah.
some condition.
And so when I got this package at gunpoint, I went and interviewed
Back in the day.
back in the day. We're talking about 1976, early
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
By the way, that's the first car that ever had a fuel cell in it.
Really?
That's the first car that the cage was ever tied together in
Okay.
because
Nice.
those 2 rules
Right.
we covered those in the last deal.
Those were the NHRA Rossi rules.
Yeah, and then
a lot of tapping on the outside of
that
it.
car was a handful to drive
Yeah.
because it would just pick the wheels out of the lights.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but nobody at the ad agency or Dodge wanted me to change it because it was a show car.
It was
It
always
was a
in
crowd
drag
pleaser.
so-
Sure, because it's yanking the front tires.
It was
off.
Yeah,
always
yeah,
in
without a
dragster.
trans
Yeah.
brake, and back in those days,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it just no cars did that.
Yeah.
So it would lift the car on a good track, 3 feet
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And if you notice, my best wins were on prep tracks, which means national races.
National racetrack,
I
yeah.
did better there. Why? because the track would hold the torque I could put down.
Right.
Yep.
Did you have an active intake on that car?
No,
No.
I didn't. Turns out I didn't need that, but I
Okay.
had thought about that,
Because
Cam.
that wedge motors made serious torque.
they-
that's right.
That's one thing the wedge motors
Yeah.
do as opposed
Well,
to Hemis make.
remember,
horsepower.
I got high velocity, very small port.
Yeah.
These are high torque, even industrial engines.
Right.
They're basically the same port.
Yeah.
906 heads. I wanted like 50 cylinder heads from Dodge. We got them. I sent them to Mullen. He flowed them. We
Yeah.
couldn't find 2 CFM difference between them. And the guys still hate me that get that job, and I know them.
Right.
Anyway.
Because they had to test them all.
They tested every one of them. I took the best ones. God bless America. I had to make it worthwhile. And remember, the only thing we had left is the valve job.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Bartley Kenyon was a master at doing valve work, and he came out of Detroit. And he's the guy that did all of the prototype valve work
Right.
for cylinder heads before it went into the dynos back in Detroit. He
Okay.
retired, and he was in Goleta. And he did my heads because when you got nothing to work with, I don't care if you have the biggest ported cylinder head in the world, the stopping point or the choke point
Is
the
the
valve.
valve job.
Is the valve.
Yep.
Valve
Right.
size and valve job.
Sure.
Can't
Yeah.
turn this. You can't turn the flow any more than 15 degrees.
Right. Yeah.
So he was always 12 and a half. So we would do like a 45, 37 and a half, you know, that kind of stuff. Everything was less than 15 degrees back then. Now that's some of the smarty guys now that are really good.
Right.
That's what I understand is gospel. So he was ahead of a time. So I would say I had probably one of the best valve job works. I mean, and we never used valve seals.
Really?
He fitted
No
the valves.
seals?
Yeah,
It
he
was
fitted
that-
the valves so
Oh,
close
to the guides.
So we had
to the guides that we never
tolerances
used seals.
down.
I never
Didn't
used
Nice.
seals on any of my race motors.
Really?
No,
Well, that makes
no,
sense.
never.
That
Well,
makes
plus
sense.
also you could get away with that because the thing's coming apart all the time.
Yeah,
To-
but
to
you couldn't
check
put one
everything.
intake valve in another hole.
No, they were select fit.
Yeah, they were honed.
Yeah.
Honed to fit.
Select
Yeah.
fit.
That's right.
Yeah.
C. Van Tunen, you remember C. Van Tunen, of
Oh
course.
God!
Yeah.
What a brilliant
No, he
man.
passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You knew that, right?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, November.
Oh
About
my God. He,
what,
Yeah,
about
he did.
6 months ago.
No,
C. Van Tunen has passed away.
Has been
He
that
has.
been that
3
long?
months ago.
3 months ago.
Three
Oh, I thought
months
it was
ago.
longer.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
all right.
passed.
Oh, I'm so
I saw
sorry.
him.
Yeah.
In fact,
God
I'm
rest
going
his soul.
to go see.
Yep.
See him soon. See his. I'm helping with things left
Yeah.
behind. Anyway, but
So
he and I did.
let's get to.
Let me just finish my story.
Oh, sorry.
He and I did an impromptu. I had a '66 Hemi Satellite,
Okay.
and he had a '67 GTX 440, and we decided to do the Hemi versus
okay.
wedge test.
No, I've not
And it
heard
was
this
funny.
story.
So you haven't told that?
No.
So we get on it. I won't tell you where. It's in Mission Hills somewhere. Anyway, so we get on it, and he gets out like 2 car lengths on me right off the deal. And right at 100, I pass him. And it's like, bye. So, I mean, carburation and everything coming
Yep,
into the deal,
yep.
but his torque was
Yep.
you know,
That
pretty
was
strong.
what
That's
the
how we
440s
tested.
were all about.
That's how we tested.
Yeah.
So we did an official, non-official test. So
Well,
anyway.
I'll tell you one little thing about the 440. Pretty much almost every instance that somebody came to me with a 440 at the track and wanted to go faster, I told them, go unhook the accelerator pump. Dump the pump.
Okay.
And they would take the accelerator pump off, would kill a little of the bottom end, they would go faster every single time.
Wow.
I had
Because
to
they were
prove that to Larry Shepard because he did not want to buy that.
Really?
We had to prove it to him. He said, I couldn't
heard
believe
here
it.
first. That's right. No, that's good. That's interesting information. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's
Probably
great.
because velocity was so high you didn't need it, right? So it was actually
Yeah, so when we got to these, well, they call it, there's no prep now.
Right,
And,
right.
Well, see, no prep where I'm from, that's street racing.
Yeah.
Yes,
We,
right.
That's just a fancy word for it.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So when we went to national races, you couldn't walk a track. I mean, your shoes would sit there.
Yeah, just rip your.
Well, that's
rip-
exactly
yep.
what I love. That
Yeah.
car loved that.
Oh, I Sure. bet.
Boy, did it show off.
'Cause
Right.
you could
Yeah,
it could
the
take all
440.
the torque that
Yeah,
you could
because
get.
I had 452 cubic inches pulling through 355 CFM. The torque was like a throttle body.
Yeah.
You didn't need any more accelerator pump or anything. And,
Right. The velocity was already
and
there.
and the end carburetors were shut.
Right.
So and that car just,
As a tri-power. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
well, trips, right?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
we used to call Pontiacs, trips.
You bet. You bet. So explain what you're doing now so we give this enough time. I mean,
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
want to
yeah.
get this information in here. So what are you doing now? And you've got all the toys and all
Well,
that?
this is M2 machines.
M2 machines.
M2 machines. They are a model making company, and they make 1/64th. I think that's the Matchbox type size that I always called it.
Right.
And they make that in 1/24th, and they just made a run. And there's like 17,000 of these between the two, or 18.
And at Walmart.
And they're going to be at Walmarts
Nice.
and Hobby Lobbies.
Wow.
And all over the U.S. and Canada.
Beautiful.
And these are die-cast, right?
And they're die-cast, yeah.
Right.
And
It's
they
not a
actually
plastic
didn't have one of the model molds, and they said, if you let us build your car, we'll build a mold.
Okay.
So they
Nice.
did.
Very
So
cool.
they
Yeah.
did, and I'm really proud of these.
Yeah.
And they did
Yeah.
a great job.
Yeah, they're
and
beautiful.
they're very, very reasonably placed, and they're excellent detail.
The detail is amazing.
It is.
Yes,
It is. And
absolutely.
there's going to be one more. May I take the time to tell you they're going to be another package. You're going to build the ramp truck, along with the
Really? Really?
along with the race car.
Your
in a
original ramp
package.
truck?
No, a
Okay.
ramp truck that.
like the old Mopar ramp trucks?
Yeah, like an old Mopar ramp truck.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
In our colors.
Yeah.
So they're going to build that together with a race car, and they're going to put it in a package, and that'll be out in July.
Nice.
And there'll be 10,000 of them.
That's
Sweet.
cool.
And
That's very cool.
That's really great. I'm so honored.
Yeah.
And what's going on with this car? Now, you've got the new car.
Yeah, we got the new, Dodge just gave us a new 2023 Red Eye, body
Nice.
in white.
Nice.
Okay.
And that's down at PR, at Phil Mondella Racing. And it's with Jeff Turk and the Blackbird Performance Group.
Right.
And it's down in Kentucky. And we're building a new factory Superstock A, which we'll have at, we'll probably, not probably, but we will debut it or reveal it at the Chrysler Nationals.
Got it.
That'll be done.
Nice.
And then we're going to do some testing, and we're going to enter it at Indy.
That's right.
The U.S. Nationals. That car will be
2025.
going down the track in the Rossi livery, and that hasn't happened in 45 years.
Wow. That's
Wow.
very
So-
cool.
You
That's
got,
very
you
cool.
got an EV backup on it? Is that what you're going to
Yeah. And so
Battery electric.
And
There
we
you go.
hope to bring this original car with it.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some talk that we might be able to put on a little show with both cars.
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes. It's
Now,
the U.S.
It's
Nationals.
going to be a class legal car? It's
Yeah, factory Superstock A, class win.
okay. All right.
I'm hoping that we'll have one of the fastest Superstock cars ever down the track.
Cool.
Nice.
Excellent.
Nice.
So
And this car is on the tour. You take this on the
this
tour.
car's on the tour, but it'll be at Indy.
Okay. But
Yeah,
where do you
it'll-
take? Where can somebody see this if they want to see the original
first
car?
of all, thank you. They can see that at Phil Painter's Muscle Cars at the Strip here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Coming up soon. And then we'll be going to Mopars in the Park.
Nice.
And that's in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Right.
Okay.
And then we do a couple of dealer deals
Right.
there. There's Brighton Motors in Boyd, Wisconsin. I'll do a
Right.
dealer show there. And then I
Spring
go
Fling.
to...
So this is like Rockstar Tour here.
It is.
For
Yes.
you.
Yeah,
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
You know, I bet you guys are listening to all this and you're thinking, you know, it must have really been cool to be a factory Superstock racer back in the day. And today they're building model cars. I bet you think that's really cool. That's a great life. Well, let me tell you, it is.
I don't doubt it. I totally agree. I'm so happy for you because
Well, and
because
back
you
in the
came-
day back then,
Yeah,
Superstock was like,
it was big.
that was the holy grail. Stock and Superstock
You
were
bet.
a big deal.
They sure were.
You know,
Yeah, because
it was,
that was actually racing what you sold.
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
so
exactly.
I know when I did the clinics, my teammate had a modified production. Well, I had all the people.
Yeah.
Because they could relate to that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and they wanted to know what they could do to their cars. And, you know, I mean, that's the whole thing.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's so exciting to see some of these people. And I'm just hoping now that the direct connection, when we get all the new stuff out of the way, and we're happy with that. I'm just hoping that we can go back and do some retro stuff.
Nice.
Because there's still people that do the big blocks, the small blocks.
Sure.
And they need
Absolutely.
some. And I'm hoping to bring them information. I don't sell
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
I'm testing and
Right.
I'm working hard. And that's the thing with the PMR and Blackbird Performance. We're working hard to make you better.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not selling anything.
Right.
Yep.
And this information is
get
all
it.
for you.
Yeah.
Now, used to be in the old days, I had a myriad of venues that I could post this in.
Right.
Now it's very few.
Yeah.
So one of the podcasts like this is
That's right.
fantastic.
We'll
Yeah.
promote the heck out of
Yeah,
it for you.
and we got Rob Wolf at Mopar Collector Guide. He filmed the car, or
Nice.
when we picked it up. took it to the shop. He's going to follow it all the way to the track.
Nice.
Cool.
Are you
Yeah.
going to do the retros of our Mopars that we raced? Our Mopars.
Absolutely.
Our
Absolutely.
stock eliminator
Yeah,
cars.
yeah,
Because those
exactly.
cars.
We've told that story, haven't we?
We have.
Have we told that story?
But
Okay.
I think what's important to remember
How you guys
is that-
cheated?
I sure as hell did. But
So
but
this
we were
was,
able to go a second. Were you able to go a second under the index right out of the box?
Well, you know what that was about, though. That was a soft index.
I mean,
We did
well,
that.
That was a soft
I had a
index.
front-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I introduced Carol Shelby to
To the GLHs?
world. No. Lee Iacocca asked me to go to Carol Shelby. Here's his number. Call him.
Yeah.
Do something to bring Carol Shelby to the public that he is now with Chrysler.
Yeah.
Do not talk to your motorsport director. Do not talk to the ad agency. You go to right to Carol Shelby. You
Right.
work out what you want to do.
Sure.
And present it to him and do it.
Right.
Okay, boss.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
And I did 2 Shelby Chargers,
Yeah.
turbos, put them in stock because I helped write the stock
were those
rules
the ones
for
we
front-wheel
drove?
drive.
No, those were
normally aspirated.
No, in the autocross races.
No, he's talking about that, but I'm talking about in the drag racing.
Drag-
thing,
those
you
were
know,
NA
those
those
are-
were-
those
they were
are-
carbon-
no,
talking about drag
yeah.
They were carbon
Yeah,
by
I got it,
2.2s.
I got it.
Because we did why stock.
Why
Okay.
not? Why
yeah.
not?
Okay, well,
Why
same
stock?
idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we did
Yeah.
it first.
Okay.
So we were the first front-wheel drive. I'm the first front-wheel drive that went to Indy.
Okay.
Okay.
Did I not mention that before? There's
I'm
a
not
little
sure
quick
if we
story,
did or not.
if I may.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm actually doing my V8s, and I've got the 340s and the big blocks and some Hemi stuff that I'm working with, and we're doing a stock NHRA deal. Well, I get a call from Farmer, says, would you like to, we need a driver here, could you help us out? And I said, what do you need? And he said, well, we need a stick shift driver that we're testing the Dodge Charger,
Okay.
and before it became a Shelby Charger, Dodge Charger, and we're doing some times on it for to certify it.
Yeah.
I said, yeah. And I said, I think so. And he said, it pays $250 a day. I said, I'll be right there. so I got down there, and
Yeah.
who was there? Jim Wangers from Pontiac.
Of course he
Really?
was.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. And he's got an ad deal with BBD&O,
Okay.
and he's asking. He said, Paul, what we're doing is we're going to be the outside source. NHRA is to certify our ad that the Dodge Charger goes from 0 to 60 in X.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So I got behind the wheel, did the power shift thing, and came back. And he goes, God, that's the fastest it's ever been. And I said, wow, great, thanks. But it's a 4-cylinder. I go,
Yeah.
is it still running? He goes, oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they weren't awesome.
It was a
I
hybrid.
almost killed myself. I got out and it was still going.
Crazy.
No. So it was impressive.
Yeah.
So fast forward, the end of the deal, and he said, it's about Indy time. Is he going to U.S. Nationals, Paul? And I go, yeah, this is Jim Wangers talking. I said, yeah, I am. He said, why don't you take one of the take one of the Chargers out there and see if you can do something with it. And I said, yeah, that might be fun. I said, but I don't know. He said, why don't you ask Maxwell? I'm sure he'll give you a car, and
Yeah.
just take it there. You're going anyway.
Straight.
All right, I'll give it a try. So I called Dick Maxwell up, and I said, hey, Dick. He said, hey, how you doing, Paul? You all ready? And I go, yeah, I'm all set. I said, listen, I've been doing this little testing deal here
Yeah.
with the ad agency, and I said, I'm thinking about maybe running a front-wheel drive car at Indy. First time.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever had one. How would you like to get involved with that? No effing way. And
Good
it
to the
was
last
just
drop,
silent.
Maxwell.
I was silent. Paul, it's front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
The traction is in the front.
Yeah.
The weight transfer goes in the back. How's that going to work?
Yeah.
I said, don't get logical on me. I'm telling you, it works.
There you go.
And
And,
so we
So you went to Indy?
Well, yeah. So I did. It's very amazing. So I got back to do to follow up with Jim Wangers and do a few more deals.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he says, hey, how'd it go with Maxwell? Not so much. Really? And I go, oh, no. Not so much, as in I'm not helping.
Yeah.
He said, I won't stand in your way, but I'm not helping.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't make any sense to me, Rossi.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I do understand that. I had a hard time swallowing it, too. So he says, we went around, he comes back about half an hour later, and Jim says, see those 2 cars over there? I said, yeah. I'll give them to you if you take them to Indy. Really? He goes, yeah. Well, that's some incentive. Let me think about it.
Yeah.
End of the day, I said, okay, I'll do it. So I prepared the car, got one done. Prepared it, went to Indy. Rob Roth drove it. 270 guys in class at stock.
Yeah.
We got down to the last 5 cars.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Why? Because it was almost done. People just couldn't
Oh
work
yeah.
out.
They're probably red lighting on you,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because that
Half
happened.
the
That
field-
happened to us.
half the field red light.
Yeah. Because
So-
literally you're halfway
I
down
know,
the track and their
we-
tree still hasn't come down
And
yet.
I got to tell you, as a drag racer, I know everybody hated me for doing that.
Yep.
But we were holding our size. It was so much fun watching that. And he was just going down there, running
That's
the
great.
number, running the number, running
That's
the number.
great, yeah.
And of course, Maxwell, he said, "Okay, Paul, you made a point. We're in." I said, "Okay."
But that can't last forever.
No.
You know, so,
No. But it was
didn't.
just.
It was.
So
you
with
made
that,
a point.
with
You made
that,
a point. Yeah.
I went ahead and built 2 cars to introduce Carroll Shelby to the world that he is now with Chrysler.
Yeah. Hey, we'd like to thank our sponsor, ARP-bolts.com. We got a fantastic little backdrop here. They make an outstanding series of bolts, almost anything you would need for engines, chassis, things like that. In fact, we were at lunch today, and a guy asked you about the bolt on the back of your shirt, and and I said, well, it's really about a head bolt. They neck the stem down of the bolt on a short, small block Chevy head bolt, so the clamp load is even across 3 different head bolt lengths on a small block Chevy. And, so that's the kind of technology that you get out of ARP. And we've all got stories on all that stuff.
Well,
but,
for a translation of what he said, call arpbolts.com.
but the message is that you can't get any better than that.
No, you cannot.
There
Yep.
you go.
Next.
We'd like to thank our friends at InTheGarageMedia.com. They have 3 fantastic magazines. They've got Classic Truck Performance, they have Modern Rotting, and my favorite, All Chevy Performance with Nick, my buddy Nick,
Oh,
is
you're
the
so
editor.
biased.
So yes, of course. But it's a fantastic book. They're doing print media, which
Yes.
is of course our favorite. So
In color and
magazine.
everything.
in color and everything, and you can get your car on the cover of one of those books, which is
Right.
a fun
that's a
deal.
lot.
Great
yeah.
tech.
Great
written
tech.
by
You know,
and others
not always
that are
written by me,
famous
but
people.
Yeah.
Famous people
Not
have written all the
always
tech.
written by me.
That's right.
Just
So
pick it
check
up and
them out
read it.
at InTheGarageMedia.com, and they're our friends, and they will thank you. There's more to the
But
story.
wait, there's
right?
more. There's more.
There's more to the story.
So let's start. I actually like the last one on this list.
Yeah.
Let's do that first. So
Okay.
Pikes Peak.
You want to, but all right.
Or you
Pikes
want to
Peak.
do these in order?
Would you mind?
No, that's
yeah,
fine.
because this is
Sure,
the
okay.
Talon, and this is how we
Okay,
start out.
Okay, good.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Right. So
Okay.
so let's talk about the Talon. What was the Eagle Talon?
The Eagle Talon was the one of the car line for Jeep division.
Right.
Came up with an Eagle division, which had the Premier, and their sports car was going to
Right.
be the Eagle Talon.
Was
Right.
it linked to Mitsubishi in
It
some way?
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
And this was
all
all-wheel drive?
I want to call that the in Normal, Illinois. They put a plant together, and they had a complete Mitsubishi team there and a complete Chrysler team there,
Got it.
and they built the 3 following cars: the Mitsubishi Eclipse, the Plymouth Laser, Lazer,
Yeah.
I remember those
Remember
cars.
that car?
and the Eagle Talon.
Okay.
The Eagle Talon was the highest trim level, and it came last.
Right.
Okay, so
Okay.
obviously
Was that all-wheel drive?
the Talon?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Right.
That's okay.
I don't think the Plymouth came in all-wheel drive.
I don't think so either.
No. But
But it was fast.
the Talon did.
Those were
Okay.
fast.
The Talon
cars.
and the GSX, which was a Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Which
Got
is
it.
relatively new for 1990 in terms of
Oh,
technology.
this
all-wheel
was a
drive.
rocket ship because
not
and they called
four-wheel
it
drive.
Diamond Star.
Okay.
And sometimes you'll see people referring to Diamond Star followers or something, and that was what they kind of
Okay.
coined as the factory between Chrysler, Pentastar, Diamond, and Mitsubishi.
So you got involved with this.
I did. Dick Maxwell, I had a program with him, but he said, hey, we got a new car line coming up. He said, everybody says this is meant for you. Go up and see the Eagle guy. So I walked up there and presented him, and this is the first time I got a serious budget.
Okay.
Serious budget,
Yeah.
cars, because I was the team, right?
Yeah.
I was the factory team.
Yep.
And so because the Eagle Talon was the last on the production list, they wanted to kind of get everything set up, and because this was going to be the Bebop Deluxe model. They started the Eclipse and then some lasers, and they were out. But the Talons were short supply, so I'm waiting for a car, no car.
Right.
So they finally decided we had to get busy. They're going to send me a Plymouth Laser. So they sent me a couple of lasers. Meantime, the first race is coming up where we had scheduled to race, which is Mid-Ohio.
Okay.
And so all the Eagle team, the high management came down, and my motorsport sales manager, director was there, and they're all coming down to see the first Eagle Talon run. Whoopee.
But you don't have one.
I don't have one. So I'm there, and I'm screaming for please
Give me
send me the
something.
rubber duckies on so I can put them on the back in front of this
Sure.
this laser, and it didn't have the proper trim on it and all that. But I was successful in getting a white one.
Okay.
That's the base of my race cars. So I got that all done. Meantime, my trucks had headed off to Ohio. My Dodges, and they're all there, and the drivers are there, and everything's going on. And then I'm going to fly there. So I finished this thing up, called Reliable, and they come and picked up the car, and off I went on an airplane.
Okay.
So I get there, and everything's going. We qualify. And the day before qualifying, I got a call from the driver at Reliable. It said, hey, Paul. He said, yeah, you told me to call you if anything went wrong. I said, yeah, this is really important. He said, well, I blew my Road Ranger 18-speed thing out.
Oh, boy.
And, I said, you mean like, is it serious? He said, yeah. I said, well, when can you get back on the road? He said, you're not going to get parts till Monday. I said, oh, gosh,
Wow.
that's going to kill me here.
That's not going to work.
Yeah. I said, what are you going to do? He said, oh, I'm just going to be in a hotel room.
Yeah.
I said, you want to make $1,000? He goes, yeah, I'm listening. Drive that Eagle Talon off the truck, get in it, and bring it to Mid-Ohio.
Yeah.
You give me $1,000 cash? I said, I will.
Yeah.
Well, what about license plates and all that? How many other cars you have on the trailer? Got it. So he gets in the car and he drives it to Mid-Ohio. He comes in the front gate. I'm there to meet him and all that. Just white. I take it in the back. I got a compressor and I spray the thing all blue on the bottom. Put the trim on it, the
Wow.
maroon trim. We decal it all up. We didn't qualify. We started dead last. Joe Vardy and Terry Irwood got in it.
Joe Vardy's a good driver.
Yeah.
Joe Vardy, so is Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't sell
No,
Terry.
no,
short.
I don't know him, but
yeah, Vardy's an aluminum driver. He's a rocket man.
He's
So,
an aluminum driver? Was
I call him the aluminum driver. He weighs like 3'8" or something. Something like that. He weighs 84 pounds.
He's alloy driver.
Yeah, the alloy driver, yeah.
As opposed to
Okay.
cast iron.
Yeah, as opposed to cast iron. Yeah. So, and he drove a lot of stuff for me, and he's always fast. And Terry has been Terry was my driver.
So how long is this
number one
race?
guy.
It's like an endurance race?
4 hours.
You remember? 4 hours. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So two
Yeah.
drivers for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we get going, and it starts raining.
Oh.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Huh?
All-wheel
yeah.
drive.
Thickens.
All-wheel drive.
So at the end of the day, we pass the cars, come into pits, pass the cars. I mean, there's like 40 cars in the field. We passed all of them, and we won the race. And Terry
Wow.
says the only reason we won is the only car that had defrosters.
the only one that can see. Yeah.
I love
exactly.
it. I love
So
it.
we won, and everybody's happy, and I have a nice thing with everybody. All the drivers signed it. So Eagle was so happy because at their first race, they came in first place.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
they made this giant poster, sent it to all the dealers.
Yeah.
First race, first place.
Yeah.
And I knocked that poster off. I'm going to have it available this year.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's
so
cool.
that's a nice story. That's a
So
great way
was
to get started.
that was in 1990.
1990.
Nice.
1990.
You got
Okay.
another 1990 story. What's this
Yeah.
gone in 60
So
seconds?
gone in 60 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. There was a guy I knew, allegedly. This guy got a call from Eagle, and they said, listen, we're in a Motor Trend Car of the Year shootout, and we're in competition with the Eagle Talon, with our Eagle Talon, with the Mitsubishi Eclipse and the Plymouth Laser. I said, yes. Oh, the guy said yes,
Yeah.
not me. And so, and he said, how can they be so much different? I said, what do you mean? Well, we're getting our butt handed to us by the Mitsubishi Eclipse, and the Talon and the Laser aren't in the same zip code.
Right.
Wow.
Oh. He said, is there anything you can do about that? I said, well, I thought for a minute, and I said, can you get the keys to that car? He goes, yeah. I said, can you have it? Where are they parked? He said, they're in front of the Scottsdale Princess.
Which car are you getting?
All the Mitsubishi.
You're getting all of them.
The
Okay.
Eclipse are there, the Eagle's there, and the Laser's there.
Okay.
I said, so can you get keys to the Mitsubishi Eclipse?
Got it.
That's
The killer.
seems to be faster. Yeah,
Got it.
the
Yeah.
rocket ship.
Uh-huh.
And he said, absolutely. I said, well, if you leave him in the car, I'll take a look at it. Okay. So I took a brand new Eagle Talon, loaded it in my race car truck, and I headed out with all my tools to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Now, it's not far from where I lived. It was, like 5 hours, and
Okay.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I go there, I sneak into the parking lot, grab the keys where they told me I got in the Eclipse, and off I went. And I went to a gas station, and I paid the guy $500
To
be
use his
quiet
shop.
and use the shop.
Yeah.
So he left and he was happy. I took everything out of my brand new Eagle Talon, brake pads, ECU, the computer, camshafts, brake pads, fuel pressure regulator.
Regular, okay.
And
Things-
the master cylinder
Things that you knew
could affect the
enhance
performance of this
the
car.
performance of the car.
Precisely.
Right.
You guys are car guys.
with the concept that would the factories maybe tune a car up that they're going to give to Motor Trend for a Motor Trend Car of the Year to
No,
make
not
sure
gonna go
performance?
that
They
Okay,
wouldn't do
well, we
that.
won't go there. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
we
got-
won't go
got
there.
One of those in
Only
my
thing I can
history.
tell you the result was, after I defanged this questionable
Yeah.
Mitsubishi Eclipse, I got a call the next day saying, "Well done, we're all even now." Thank you very much. How's that?
Nice.
True
I love
story.
it.
That's
I love
great.
It.
That's great. And but that stuff we know that stuff
Oh,
happened.
I know. I had a
Yeah.
Camaro
So
like that.
basically, the cars are kinked.
Yep.
Yes, you
The
bet.
cars are kinked.
Yep.
We got time.
But when you have
We got-
three identical cars and it's just badge engineering,
Yeah.
there
It's
shouldn't
like,
be any
no,
disparity.
there should not be any
They're all
difference.
made in the same place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got
So
time
we
for
got
one more.
we got-
We got time for one story left.
one story.
Pick your best.
All right, we might as well
Pikes
finish
Peak.
up on the town.
Pikes
Yeah,
Peak.
Pikes Peak. Okay. We ended up at Pikes Peak 1990, and as you know, Pikes Peak is done in 3 segments: the top, the middle, and the second. You never can run the whole thing until you do the
And
race.
this is back when it was still dirt and,
And it was still,
paved.
and it was unpaved. 12
halfway
miles.
up,
yeah.
halfway up, it
12
goes
and a
to
half
dirt.
Miles, yeah,
Right.
Yeah. So we got up there, and we're expecting to run well. We ran well, but the GM cars had this new Cyclone pickup with the.
All-wheel
I think
drive.
it's a Grand National motor, right?
Right.
V6?
Right.
Yeah.
Is
Turbo-
it twin turbo?
Single
No,
turbo.
Single
turbo.
Single
Okay.
turbo for all-wheel
And it
drive.
was fast.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
those
yeah.
things
They
were rocket
had
ships.
Each segment we ran. So first day we'd run like the middle, second day we'd run the bottom, third day we'd run the top. And
Mm-hmm.
every segment of the 3 times that we ran, we weren't faster than them at all. They were beating us by between 800s and 1500s per segment.
Okay.
Now you add it all up, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still not very much.
I
So
know,
you're
but
in competition.
12 miles, yeah. So, but I had the little drag race surprise. Always you got to have something in the bag. So I let
Damn drag
I let
racers.
them think that they had me where they wanted me.
Yeah.
And so they were excited because this is a new car coming out. So is ours.
Yeah.
So these are 2 offerings in 1990 that they wanted to ring the bell about.
Sure. Right.
Winning Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
That gets a international flavor to be exact.
Right, you
That's
bet.
famous everywhere. Pikes
You
Peak.
bet. You
So race day comes the day before, and I go down to the local ice cream place, and I get some dry ice. And then I go to
Okay.
I go to Tractor Supply, and I get some tubs. I
Yeah.
put one under the gas tank, and I cold soak the gas tank. And then I have a special intercooler that I made that encased the intercooler. Instead of having air through it, I could pump water through the intercooler. Now, they do that on the new turbo cars. Sure,
Right.
I'm the first guy to do that.
Wow.
Back in the day.
1990. So
yeah.
I had a separate cooling
So
system
instead of air to
for the-
air, it's now air to water.
Air to water.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. And I've got dry ice, antifreeze, and salt in a big cooler inside.
Leave
and
it to the
remove
drag
seat.
racers.
There you go.
Yeah, so for my understanding, first use of that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Sealed unit for the turbo only. So we got that all done. Oh. Did I break rule again?
That's okay. That's
No,
all right.
It's okay. That's okay.
That I'm being Italian here.
That's okay.
Pounding my hands on the table, and
We're all
that's a
good.
no-no, and I'm
We're all good. You've been
sorry.
very good today.
I'm trying. So I'm
So how'd you do?
So how'd you do? Yes, exactly.
So we go up there, and we're sponsored by Nestle's, and
Carvel.
we're handing chocolate bars out as we go up there, because you just go in a big long line until you get up to the starting line and you take off. This is the first time you get to do the whole track in one shot.
Okay.
So no one's ever done that yet. So
Yeah.
they go up and they got a great blistering time. So we're all set, and everything's cool as can be.
Yeah.
Everything's cold soaked. I let my driver, Dick Dodge, and the flag is off, and he goes. And by the time he got up there 12 and a half miles at the top of the hill, he told me that when he opened the igloo, that the water was boiling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was.
And we
yeah.
won the race by 900s. We had the best time.
900.
900s.
Wow.
All right.
That's a little old superstition and ignorance over skill and technology.
Take it.
There you go.
Take it.
There you
Whatever
go.
you can do. And that does
So
it.
that
Yeah.
does it. That does it.
Thank you,
know?
Mr.
So,
Thank you, everybody.
Yep. Thank
I
you
enjoyed
again.
this
We appreciate
3
it.
hours of
Rossi.
Paul
Car
Rossi.
guy confessions, waterboarding.
So if you love
Waterboard.
this thing, keep plugging in. We're going to keep doing this. We want to thank our friends at arp-bolt.com and our folks at the Grand National Roaster Show for putting us up with this whole deal. It's great. And we'll just keep
Paul's
telling you
leaving.
stories.
Paul's leaving.
Paul's
He's
leaving.
already leaving.
Thank you, guys.